everyone, Elsie Rosie here, and I am here trying something new. What do y'all think? Thank you all so much for joining us today. Be sure to like and share and comment for more great content like this on The O Ship Show. Are y'all ready to jump back in to the comic? Let's go! Previously on The Lost Golden Boy, Spring's eyes had opened and were now staring straight at Golden. His pupils had matched the mist that was slithering around them. He had tossed Cupcake back in the air and then caught him with a flat palm, cracking his wrist as he did. "Do you?" he asked. He had snapped up, his knees letting out a wicked crack. He thrusted his shoulders back and cracked his neck from left to right. Cupcake shook his head at Golden. "Spring?" Golden asked. "Not exactly," replied a deep voice. Far from that brewing disaster were a pair living in domestic bliss. "You sure you can reach that little rabbit?" In response, Shadow Bonnie checked back at his partner in crime, Shadow Freddy. Shab placed his hands on his hips. "I'm not that short, Scare Bear," he replied, his gaze shifting back up to the pizza sauce. He stood up on his tiptoes, stretching his paws up to the jar. He hopped up and down to reach it, not achieving too much success. Shadow Freddy, or Chef, as he preferred to be called, leaned back and watched the show. "Need help?" he asked, his eyes admiring Shab's bum as he jumped up and down. Shab shook his head. "Nope." He let out a huff and plopped down to his feet. He crossed his arms across his chest, his lips pursing together tightly. Shab pushed off the table and walked up to the little bunny. "You sure about that little rabbit?" He placed his paws behind his back. Shab's gaze narrowed and shifted away from Shaft. "I can do it." His pout deepened. Shaft cocked his head to the side. Then he cuddled up behind Shadow Bonnie, wrapping his arms around him and snuggling into those fluffy ears. "I know you can, but I want to help," he replied. Shadow Bonnie let out a pleased hum at the embrace. His eyes fluttering open. "He's so cute." "Fine." He nuzzled back into Shaft's neck, which made the bear hum in response. Shadow Freddy shifted back without letting go of his partner. Then he lifted him up into the air, which made Shab gasp. "Careful, don't drop me." His ears flattened to his head. He shuddered, his feet swinging in the air. He reached his paws forward and picked up the jar of sauce. He checked back at Shaft. Shaft's grip didn't waver in the slightest. "I will never let you fall," he promised. Lowering down Shab nice and slow, making sure his feet rested once more on the kitchen floor. He pulled Shab back into his arms, which made the little rabbit laugh. "I got it," he cheered, holding their famous Fazbear pizza sauce to his chest. "Hey, with some help," Shab hummed in reply, giving Shab a little squeeze. "Shadow Bonnie! Shadow Freddy!" The two shadows snapped their heads to the entrance of the kitchen. Leaning in were the two Balloon children, Balloon Girl being the one who had called their name. Balloon Boy's gaze was shifting between the two, who were still snuggling. "We've a problem!" But first, the two stepped together to the center of the archway. Balloon Boy was grinning like a Cheshire cat, while Balloon Girl had a much kinder smile on her face. "Are you two a couple?" she asked. The shadows broke apart, both having very different reactions to this question. Shadow Bonnie squeezed his eyes shut and pressed his paws to his chest. He began waving them in front of him. No, he squeaked. He's just my best friend. We just hug and cuddle a lot. We're just friends, not a couple. His head was shaking back and forth. Shaft's reaction to Balloon Girl's question was very, very different compared to his companions. Not yet, he said with a grin. Huh? Shav turned to Shaft. What did you say? Shaft's gaze shifted away. That smirk was ever present. Later I'll tell him, he thought to himself. Nothing. The balloon children glanced between each other, sharing a knowing grin as they did. Then they heard a slam. The two whipped around to the sound. Let him go! One voice cried, while the other replied, I don't wanna. Oh no! Balloon Girl gasped. The Shadow's eyes widened. Shadow Bonnie's paws snapped over to his muzzle. That sounded like Goldie! Shadow Freddy's gaze narrowed, and the other sounded like... The two turned to each other. Purple! They screamed. Shadow Bonnie's fist curled together and shoved them down to his sides. He stomped on the ground. Shaft let out a deep growl that resonated through the room. How could he have escaped? He asked. The vacuum always kept the ghosts at bay until they had learned their lessons. Purple sure as hell hadn't learned his lesson yet. Shadow Bonnie tapped the air before Shaft, bringing him back to the current situation. Let's find out that later. Right now, we need to save Goldie. He took Shaft's paws in his own and pulled him close. Together their bodies twirled into a large cloud of smoke, curling in smaller and smaller until the flashes of red, black, and purple had vanished into the vents. Let's get him! Their voices echoed throughout the kitchen and down the halls as the two came to the rescue. The two balloon children had remained behind. Their eyes met. Did you grab Goldie's hat? Balloon Boy asked. Balloon Girl whipped the stolen hat out of practically thin air. You know me so well, she replied. To the rescue, the Shadow Babies go! Woohoo! Oh my gosh, I love the fluffy section. I love the Shadow Babies so much. Oh my gosh. Also, y'all, we are almost done with this comic. We have about 2 chapters left. Oh my goodness. We started this in what? August? June? July? Oh my goodness. We are almost done. Will Golden and Spring end up together? Will Spring be free of purple? Let's find out. I will see you all next time on The Oh Ship Show. And guys, fair warning, after this comic is done, we will dive into the bloopers of the comic. So some fun facts that will mostly be me being a video poking complete fun at myself. It's going to be amazing. I will see you guys then. Bye.